100%, 100%. America, truly stands behind the families of these National Guard members who were so tragically taken. I have a question for you as we now see the remains of the U.S. interpreter, U.S. civilian interpreter, who is now his remains coming down now. What happens, General, in Syria? Do you think we will see some type of U.S. retaliation?
I think so. Certainly based on this president, he has vowed to strike and strike swiftly. Back in December of 2019, we had an American killed in Iraq, and part of the Iranian-backed ISIS group or Iranian-backed group I'm sorry, it wasn't ISIS, it was an Iranian terrorist group. They're a militia. And on the 3rd of January, he had approved the strike of then President or General Soleimani, who is the commander of Iranian Quds forces, right outside of Baghdad International Airport by a unmanned aerial vehicle. I think the president he's looking at options right now. I guarantee you, he's looking at options to strike back at ISIS leadership there, specifically in Syria. And that will be, there's blood on their hands. And I think the president's going to, as he's made a vow, to go after ISIS leadership. And that's important from really a broader standpoint is number one, to show U.S. resolve. Secondly, that these deaths and these killed in action do not go in vain. But third, we've got to really keep our eye on ISIS as they're trying to reemerge. They're trying to continue to spread hate and terror, not only in the Mideast, but potentially around the globe. And it's important that the United States strikes back. And I think this president will do so fairly swiftly, and I would anticipate fairly soon.
And it does look like this dignified transfer is now complete. What happens now, General, now that the soldiers, that the interpreters' remains are back on U.S. soil, because you did say this is just the beginning, this is just the start.
This is just a start. They'll go through the Armed Forces process, mortuary process in a mortuary. I've been through that process a number of times myself, witnessing that painstakingly. We're seeing here right now, just briefly, is the solemn aspect of now loading the transfer case on board the vehicle. And it'll be now turned over to the mortuary where they will do a very deep dive forensics. They'll do examine the remains, examine the body. They'll determine how they were literally killed. They'll also look for potential opportunities for lessons learned. Could the equipment, perhaps a vest or some kind or helmet, be worn a little bit differently, or could it perhaps prevented the kill shot, as we say? But they'll go through a very forensic-based review and make sure that nothing is left unturned here at all. And then when that is complete, then they will return the remains over to the family members, but they'll do so with another dignified transfer, this time with the soldiers and the civilian, where they'll actually return these soldiers and the civilian back to their family members via likely another aircraft. They'll do so in about 24 to 48 hours. They want to turn this Armed Forces medical exam as quickly as they possibly can to get them really to the final destination, to their loved ones. I anticipate, I don't know, but I would think that the two soldiers will be buried in Iowa. They will be flown there via dignified transfer. And then they'll be arrive in Iowa, then turned over to the family members. And I presume that Mr. Saquet will do so the same and be returned to his family in Michigan. But we're still about probably 48 to 72 hours away from that happening.
All right. General Richard Newton, so appreciate your time over such a somber occasion. Thank you for giving us some of your time. I do want to remind viewers, as we do give you this live look, this is the dignified transfer of Iowa National Guard members, Sergeants Brian Torres Tovar and William Nathaniel Howard, as well as U.S. civilian interpreter Ayad Mansour Sakat. Their remains all just returned to U.S. U.S. soil. All three were killed over the weekend during an attack in Syria.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.